Welcome to your second assessment for entrepreneurial studies. We're particularly excited about this one because it's quite unique. Something we believe that you would not be completing in any of your other subjects at any time whilst you're here at Northern Beaches Christian School. So the name of this task is called the Entrepreneurial Spirit, something that we looked at early in term one. And I just want to break down part of the reason of why we're doing this. So you've already looked at in class the video from Bill Gross, the founder of ID Lab, who runs an incubator of new inventions, ideas, and businesses that he founded himself with a lot of startups. He became curious about why some succeeded and others failed. So he gathered data from hundreds of companies, his own and others people's companies, and ranked each company on 5 key factors. He found that timing was the largest factor in success, followed by teams. Now, we don't have the power over the external business environment, so sometimes the timing will be right, other times it will not. However, you can decide who will be part of your team. And this is where we come to the assessment. So this assessment is going to provide you with the opportunity to deeply reflect on your personal attributes and skills that will contribute towards the success of a startup. What we need you to think about is imagine you're getting into an elevator. And in that elevator is Tim Cook, the current CEO of Apple, or Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, or Janine Ellis of Boost Juice. Companies that you'd love to work at. Now, during that elevator ride, you only have about 30 to 45 seconds to convince these CEOs, these entrepreneurs, that you should be working for them. You should be at their firm. You have such amazing skills and attributes, and you understand the startup world so well that without you as part of their team, they won't succeed. And that's the real crux of this assessment task. So let's scroll down and open up the PDF notification and go through in a bit more detail. So it's going to be due in the last week of this term on the Thursday at 7 p.m. You will have pretty much all of our lessons from this point forward working on this particular assessment task. So a lot of school time to minimize any undue and unnecessary pressure and stress at home. You are creating a video. It's going to be 30 to 45 seconds. And the way that you submit your video is you first publish it to your own YouTube account. You can use your school account if you'd like to. And then you submit a PDF with the YouTube link onto the Entrepreneurial Studies Learn page. What we're looking for here is your ability to reflect on your own personal skills and attributes that you believe will contribute towards a startup success. How well you can plan a persuasive argument, the order that you structure what you're going to say, the way that you say it, using both verbal, body language, and also visual techniques. So we will be seeing you in the recording. And finally, how well your editing skills are. You have a maximum of 45 seconds for your recording, so no longer, and it's an individual task, not a group task. A reminder that we have penalties for late submissions, and if you'd like to apply for extension, that needs to be applied for to our learning leader for HISI, which is Mr. Nathan Besson. So the actual task, you've been asked to create a 30-second video or animation clip convincing other entrepreneurs that they must have you as part of their team. So this task is highly personal. It's about you. You need to be selling yourself and what makes you a great entrepreneur and why any other person would want to have you as part of their team. There are 3 key areas that you must include in your 30 to 45 second clip. The first one is why being an entrepreneur is important to you. The second one, what is the most important skill or attribute you will bring to your team? So you choose the most important. If it's skills, they include things like coding skills, maybe mathematical skills. They could include things like technical skills. And when we come to attributes, they could include things like hardworking, you're a very positive person, you do well to motivate others, you understand complex problem solving approaches and are able to see the larger picture. And the third thing that you include in your video is reasons why any team wanting to succeed must include you. So there's really no right or wrong answer. It's about how well you deeply reflect on who you are as a person and what you have to bring to a team. Now, we've already looked at in class the DISC personality profile, so you can use that as some insights to assist you to figure out what you have to give to a team. So we've listed here some other resources to assist you with the video. So first of all, what your clip should look and sound like. It needs to include you. So we need to be able to see your face, and it needs to be recorded using your own natural voice. So don't use any of the computer-generated voices. Use your own natural voice. We want to hear the conviction in your pitch. We truly want to believe that those skills that you're discussing that make you a great entrepreneur, you believe in them too. Include key points of text throughout your clip that come up on the screen and kind of get highlighted to help us understand your elevator pitch, as we're calling it. Include images that are engaging and contribute to what you are saying. Include a sound recording as a backing track. Make sure it's professional. And we've listed 2 clips here that you could watch, get an idea of the type of style we're after. To also help you figure out the best way to arrange a elevator pitch and to make sure that it's persuasive, we've got 3 videos here for you to look at. And finally, there are 2 types of software that you can use to help edit your video, either iMovie or VideoPad. They're both free. iMovie obviously is designed for use on a Mac, and VideoPad can be used on a Mac or a PC. You will have time throughout class to experiment with these editing tools, and this is something else that we really love about this task. We're going to be improving your video editing skills, which will be useful in this new age of digital literacy and the ability to visualize your pitch and ideas. It's almost become a given, and we see that when we watch the news, especially The Project. They use a lot of video editing to tell a story. I'd like to move on to and introduce you to the single point marking criteria. We've moved away from the 5 scale marking criteria because we found that there was a lot of reading. Students got very confused and they didn't spend time reading through the marking criteria in depth to understand what they need to do. So what we have created here is a single point marking criteria. In the middle here is the expectation that all students should be able to achieve. It is the standard. It is the level that students in Year 9 and 10 doing entrepreneurial studies should be able to achieve. If you wanted a number to help you about what this criteria is, it's about the 60 to 70% range mark. So if you're able to meet each one of these criteria, then you're doing well in entrepreneurial studies. If you exceed that criteria, then you're doing more than expected at your current stage, which is fantastic. And so we'll write down here points of evidence after we watch your pitch stating how you've actually exceeded the standard criteria. So I encourage you to read through. Let me just highlight the areas over here that we're looking for. So first of all, we're looking at how well you reflect on your skills and attributes and how they're relevant to the success of a startup. How well you've thought about the way that you structure your argument. Have you started off with an engaging story that pulls in your audience, that want to hear more about who you are as a person? And then the way that you've pitched your idea about who you are and your attributes, the way that you've used verbal, body language, and visual techniques. And then we're going to look at your editing skills. And with every assessment of entrepreneurial studies, we have a reflection page that you need to fill in, which also contributes towards your final mark. Now, I'd like to narrow in on the video editing skills. All of you will have different levels of skills. And for that reason, each of you will have a different performance indicator or standard that we're expecting you to get to. So this section here has not been filled in yet. It says, in consultation with your teacher, you are to agree on the standard required for your current editing skills. So some students in the class already make amazing videos. They're going to have a different criteria for them to achieve to someone that's never made videos and has never explored with editing skills. And that way we make it a fairer assessment task for everyone. Just like to remind you, as I've already mentioned, that every entrepreneurial studies assessment task has a reflection that will be required to be submitted with the task. So we need you to complete this. You can type it up or you can write it and hand it in at the same on the day that the task is due. So if you'd like to submit this to the Learn page, that's okay. If you'd like to come to school the next day and hand it to your teacher, that is okay as well. So we really hope that you enjoy this task, we think that it would really assist you in your future careers as well. It's going to be something that you can include in your own digital portfolio, something you can include on your LinkedIn page, something that you can include as part of your resumes for your future jobs, and particularly for our Year 9 students who move into beyond next year and looking for internships, it's something that you can send to potential businesses as well. So we think it's going to help you in your future life as an entrepreneur. A reminder of a few things on our assessment page. We have a frequently asked questions document, and as the questions come through, we'll be adding this document, so please come back and revisit it. We'll have a series of sessions throughout class to step you through how you should be preparing for this assessment. And our first session is we're going to look at what your clip should look and sound like. And finally, the submission box is on the same assessment page as well. Reminder, it's due 7 p.m. In our last week, week 9, on the Thursday. So we hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please ask either Miss Kay or myself, and we really look forward to watching your videos. All the best.